Welcome to Celestial Codex, where we explore the deepest mysteries of the divine and the forbidden. I am your narrator on this journey into the shadows of sacred history. Today, we descend into the abyss of a truth that has been silenced for millennia. A figure who predates Eve, who defied the Creator himself, and whose name is whispered in secret by saints and sinners alike. Lilith, the first rebel, the mother of demons, the eternal seductress who turned her exile into a kingdom of shadows. Now close your eyes and imagine the first nights of the world when creation still smelled of fresh clay and divine breath. In that primordial gloom, as Adam awakened alone in Eden, a feminine silhouette stood proud, refusing to submit. Her eyes burned with a flame that no celestial command could extinguish. She was beautiful, terrible, and absolutely free. This was Lilith, and her story is far more ancient and disturbing than any sacred text dares to confess. Long before the words of Genesis were carved in stone, her name was whispered on the clay tablets of ancient Sumeria. Lilitu, the night wind demon who danced among the dunes, bringing pestilence and death. But how did an ancient Mesopotamian goddess become Adam's first wife? The answer lies in texts that religious orthodoxy prefers to keep silent. A medieval Jewish text, the alphabet of Ben Sira, reveals a chilling truth. Lilith was not created from Adam's rib, but from the same primordial clay as he was. While Adam accepted his place in the cosmic hierarchy, Lilith questioned every command. Why must I lie beneath you if we were both made from the same clay? Her question thundered through the silence of Eden. The legends say that when Adam insisted on his supremacy, Lilith pronounced the ineffable name of God and rose into the air, flying away from Eden. But the oldest texts suggest something more sinister. Lilith did not flee, but was cast out for something she had awakened within herself, something that threatened the very order of creation. In the ruins of Babylon, archaeologists have found amulets against the one who flies in the dark, the strangler of children, the one who knows no rest. These aren't simple superstitions. They are echoes of an ancient terror that has persisted for 5,000 years. Lilith represents something that no patriarchal religion can tolerate, a divine femininity that is untamed, female power without restriction, sexuality as an independent cosmic force. The ancient Mesopotamians depicted her with owl wings and bird claws, crowned with horns. She was not merely a demon, she was a chthonic goddess, a mistress of the boundaries between life and death. The Garden of Eden, as we have been told, was a place of perfect harmony. But what happens when harmony becomes oppression? Lilith discovered this firsthand when she refused to be subordinate to Adam in all aspects of her existence. When Lilith spoke the sacred tetragrammaton and rose from Eden, it was not just an act of disobedience, it was the first crack in the divine order. A disturbing question arises. Did God really send 3 angels to pursue Lilith and bring her back? The names of these angels, Senoi, Sananoi, and Samanjalov, appear on medieval Jewish amulets, supposedly to protect women in childbirth from Lilith's revenge. But what if these were not angels of mercy, but executioners sent to eliminate an existential threat to the divine patriarchal order? Legends say that when the angels found her by the Red Sea, Lilith was no longer the same. She had given birth to a monstrous progeny of demons and unclean spirits. But the oldest texts suggest something different. Lilith did not become corrupted in her exile. She finally liberated her true nature. The Red Sea, in ancient cosmology, was the boundary between the ordered world and primordial chaos. There, Lilith found her true home, not as a refugee, but as a queen. When the angels offered her forgiveness in exchange for her submission, Lilith responded with a curse. 100 of her children would die every day, but in return she would have power over all newborns. It was not just vengeance. It was the first declaration of war between the patriarchal order and primordial feminine power. The Zohar, the fundamental book of Kabbalah, describes Lilith as the queen of the Shiddim, the demons who dwell between our world and the world of spirits. Her court was a realm of creative chaos, where sexuality and death danced in perfect harmony. Who were these demons Lilith created? Ancient texts speak of the Lilin, a race of beings that inherited both their mother's seductive beauty and her rebellious nature. They were the antithesis of an ordered creation, beings that existed to remind us that not everything in the cosmos had to obey divine laws. In the Talmudic tradition, Lilith appears as an even more complex figure. It is said that she seduced Adam during the 130 years he was separated from Eve after Abel's death. From these unions, spirits were born that were neither fully human nor fully demon. The implication is chilling. Part of humanity descends not from Eve, the submissive mother, but from Lilith, the rebel. But why does the mere mention of her name strike such a chord of terror? Why do centuries-old prayers against her persist even in cultures that have long forgotten her origins? Because Lilith embodies a primal fear, the fear of the divine feminine unleashed. She is the specter of a world where gender roles are not ordained by God, but where sexuality and creation are guided by forces beyond any celestial decree. She is the living embodiment of female desire without constraint, and that, for those who seek to impose order on the chaos of creation, is nothing less than demonic. We have been taught that Lilith is a creature of darkness, a demon who preys on the innocence of childhood. But what if this is nothing but a shadow cast by the dawn of female consciousness? What if Lilith's so-called demonic offspring are nothing but those who dared to dream of a world beyond the confines of obedience? In the end, Lilith's story is not just an ancient tale of demons and angels. It is the story of every soul that refuses to accept chains, no matter how golden they may be. And as long as oppression exists, as long as inequality persists, as long as voices whisper, "This is the way it should be," the spirit of Lilith will continue to rise in the darkness, reminding us that true freedom has always been and always will be an act of holy rebellion. I hope you enjoyed this exploration of the legend of Lilith. If you'd like to support us further, consider making a donation. Your generosity helps us continue our work. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the hidden corners of faith and mythology. May you find peace in the stillness, strength in the shadows, and wisdom in the whispers of the ancient ones. Until next time, may the Bible guide your path. And remember, even in the darkest of myths, there is always a glimmer of rebellion waiting to ignite. Stay curious, stay bold, and above all, stay free.